This is Amy Chan from CakeDecoratingSchool.com, and if you like cake decorating, you're in the right place. Thanks for checking out one of our past live sessions. If you had fun and enjoyed it, we'll hope you tune in for one of our future lives. And remember, if you're one of our paid members, you can watch these and all the rest of them anytime on your platform. Let me just first show you what we're going to be making. So we used our number 123 tip last week in a kind of unconventional way to make tulips, so I thought it would be a good lesson for this week to use it in more of the traditional way and make some buttercream camellias. And this is kind of my favorite color combination, where they're that lovely peachy sherbety orange. So I have a nice light stripe of kind of a sherbet tangerine color and a nice salmon color down in the middle. Oh, thanks. And then I did kind of the sagey green for the centers. So I'm going to put this little guy up here as our goal for later. And I'm just going to grab my flower nail, and you can see I have that big old 123 tip on my bag. I've got my bright orange lined up so it's at the top where the tip is the narrowest, and my salmon color down below. If you go to squeeze out, right, and you find maybe you have too much salmon, too little orange, whatever, you can always play with how the tip is rotated in the bag and adjust that by just squeezing some more. So you can see the way I loaded it, there's actually a buildup behind. If I turn it over, it comes out more of that light orange, right? So if you get it loaded up and it's not perfect, you can always play with the tip sometimes to kind of change how it's coming out, rather than making a new bag and reloading it. So if we're using this just to make some generic flowers on our flower nail, we're gonna take that point, right, the fat end, have it at the center. The skinny end is a little bit up off the surface, right? And we're just gonna draw a little U shape like that. And that'll give you little petals, right, that are kind of, bring that closer so everyone can see, curved up, right? So it's a nice way to make just generic flowers, like 4, 5 petal blossoms, right? If you want something simple, oh, I think this is a little cold. Sorry, it's that time of year. Our studio gets kind of chilly. And if I don't make sure the bags stay warm, everything's really hard to squeeze out. So I've just got a little number 2 tip, right? And you can do a little center. So you can make fairly simple flowers with these. You could do some kind of simple dogwoods or anything like that. And it doesn't have to be anything fancy, especially if you're just kind of getting into piping, using a flower nail and the pastry bags. It can be a lot to focus on. So start out with simple projects before you move over to little guys like this, right? And so the key with these is, because of the way the petals are cupped, we're actually going to start piping, right, at the base of the flower and work our way to the center. And that's why we're doing these nice open centers. So unlike a rose where you're going to start at the top and work your way out, we're going to go backwards. So I'm going to grab a cupcake. I've just put a little frosting on it just to help everybody stick. And I'm going to give it a little squeeze in the center. And then I'm going to use that natural curved shape, spin around, right? Just to make a little center to kind of build those petals up on, right? So you can see it looks like that. I've just got a nice little dot going in the center of my cupcake right now. Right, so I'm gonna take my large tip, maybe twist it just a little bit, right? And I'm gonna start right here, and I'm just gonna draw that petal. And when I'm doing stuff with large tips, I always keep a little paper towel handy because they tend to get really gunky on the end. And then I'm going to line this up so that the next petal I squeeze out is almost going underneath the first one. So I like for it, oops, sorry, a little off center, to have a little curve up at the end so that there's room for the next petal to nest underneath. And I'm just going to keep going until I get all the way back around to where I started. And you can see here, I don't really have space for another petal that's flat against the surface of the cupcake. So this one I'm going to start against the surface and end over here. So I'm going to start my kind of second round, my second layer. So we'll start underneath, and as we turn and go up, we're starting to build up the cupcake. Nope, too far over. And we'll keep going, and that allows me to stagger my petals, right? And build up that little dot in the center. And as I'm working, I'm taking the tip and I'm angling it up towards the center so that the opening is closer to being straight up and down, and that'll give those petals a nice upward curve and make this flower look like it's opening, right? So I'm just going to keep going around until I get to the center. And when you get to this point, I'm going to hold it straight up and down so it's right towards the camera. You can see I'm going to try and nest in there, and I can probably get one more petal in, and then if I try to do another one, I'm going to be hitting the other petals. So I'm just going to leave that opening, and that's where I'm going to go in with my green, and instead of piping dots, I'm going to pipe a dot and pull. So we get those little, look like little stamens in the center. Beautiful, right? So that gives us a beautiful buttercream camellia. You can stop there. If you want to add it, you can always come in with a leaf tip. You can do a small one, a 352 that I've used a lot. This one is a larger decorator size. You're going to use it the same way. It's a number 366, and I just have it with some extra green buttercream, but you give them some cute little leaves, and they're just perfect and fantastic. And one thing I like about doing striped bags is you'll get some natural variation. This one has a little bit of that tangerine color. It's got a little more going on. This one has a little less. It gives you some nice variety in your designs. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like more about the cake decorating materials and equipment we use, or just some inspirational videos about cake decorating itself, you can follow us on Insta or YouTube at Cake Decorating School. If you'd like to know more about yearly membership and what it entails, you can go to www.cakedecoratingschool.com for more information. And if you're interested in these products, you can check the links in the description.